feels he's too quick and mobile, even though he gives away 36 pounds, and he's putting that on display right now, just trying to tire Lane out, just following Jeremy Williams around the ring.
Yeah, and really what he wanted to do, he didn't want to stand there and butt heads with Garing Lane. He wanted to box, jab, move around, use his foot movement like he is doing there.
Right, and Garing Lane is thinking, okay, okay, buddy, let's see you do this for 12 rounds.
And that could very well happen. I can tell you, Jeremy Williams comes from a long line of boxing people. He's been around boxing his whole life, and he can do this.
And you're talking about a great athlete. Back in high school, he was a football linebacker, a high school All-American. He played basketball, track. He was a middle distance runner. He was a state high school wrestling champion, played volleyball from California. And he feels he could do this for 15, 20 rounds. Some in the crowd may not like it, but strategically, Jeremy Williams has to do what he's got to do.
Yeah, and you know, you have to give him credit for remaining focused. You cannot allow for a crowd to dictate your fight. You have to stick to your fight plan and just go out there to win. The crowd doesn't like it sometimes.
She says she left her.
End of the third round, the fighters hearing the boos. Jeremy Williams settling down the crowd. Hey, it's early. Let me do my thing. I know what I'm doing. I have a strategy, a fight plan in here.
Yeah, he even did that when he stood up to the beginning of the fourth round. He looked at the crowd and said, hey, it's okay. Just be patient with me. I'll get it going here in a little bit. You know, he's waiting for Garing Lane to settle down a little bit. Garing's, you know, he's thinking about Alex Garcia. I can get out there and hit him with that big left hook. Well, Jeremy doesn't want that to happen. Oh, there it is. See, he's not wanting to catch those shots. Garing Lane is very deceiving, too. He's a big man, but he's quick. He's very fast.
And said that he may even surprise himself. He says, I was quick at 270. I think that's... I guess it's all relative. But now at 249, says he'd like to get down to around 230, 235. In high school, he was a defensive end and tipped the scales at about the 235, 240. He ran track. He ran the 440 in track. Did a 4.540 on the way to making the football team.
That's back when he was changing lanes.
And that's what he hopes to be doing in his professional boxing career. 11, 9, and 1. A career rejuvenated in the heavyweight division at that record. Well, Mike Dixon did that. After he knocked out Alex Garcia, then in turn was knocked out by Phil Jackson.
Yeah, there's an old saying in boxing and in entertainment: you're only as good as your last performance. And if that's the case, then that's why Garing Lane is so fired up for this fight. And every one of these fighters, when they go into a match, they go in there thinking, I'm going to win every round. I'm going to knock my opponent out. It's not even going to be a fight.
Well, Lane, very reminiscent of Lionel Butler, who won only 6 of his first 17 fights. Then he started to get the right management and the team behind him. The same thing for Garing Lane. He now has Alton Murkison in his corner, who we saw last week in the corner of Roy Jones, a former assistant U.S. Olympic coach. So Garing Lane now feels he has the support. He has people guiding him. There are people there for him, and he's doing some of the right things he's never known about earlier in his career. So he may fit into that Lionel Butler scenario.
Yeah, but one of the problems that he's dealing with now, as he is finally becoming aggressive, is that sparring partner syndrome, that mentality you get of just doing enough to lose each round.
But right now,
finally warming it up a bit.
Crowding Williams and being the aggressor at the end of the 4th round.
Football.
Weapon in boxing is that jab, and here is a double one from Mr. Williams. It is both offense and defense. There he was using it more for offense, but he has been mostly defensive in the first 4 rounds of this fight, although throwing more punches in that 4th round.
Jeremy Williams, a very confident young man, feels indestructible when he steps into the ring at 13-0. with 10 knockouts, and faces kind of a different customer than he has faced before. Williams, in his first 5 fights, fought a total of 7 rounds. It was quick destruction in the early going. professional fight. He was down in the 4th round against Marion Wilson before he came back to win a decision. Sam Williams in the middle of these two heavyweights. And then an impressive 2nd round knockout. And right now it's Simone. Oh, there's the big punch by Williams, and Garing Lane is crunched off balance, and Williams got him in the right position. 7, he's listening to the count, and now gets up to his feet. So Williams strikes here in the 5th. And you don't fool around with referee Sam Williams. Jeremy Williams in the corner in a hurry, and he comes out banging. This is his moment of opportunity, and Garing Lane holding on. Now this
Garing knows it. Yeah, Garing knows he's going to come after him. And this may be the window of opportunity that Jeremy was waiting for.
But this is also where his sparring partner experience may come through for Garing Lane. Got to get by the last minute.
Boom, big shot. Oh, from Jeremy Williams. What you have to do, look at how you turn it up on a fighter. You speed it up or you slow it down. That's exactly what Williams has done. And they are replacing the mouthpiece, which was knocked out by Williams. Garing Lane gets a few extra seconds.
Well, this could be the big moment in the fight. Garing Lane, and they will milk it for what it's worth in the corner. And he gets those precious 10 to 15 seconds. Now goes back to the neutral corner. And that may have saved Garing Lane in this 5th round.
And there's the experience coming in. Garing Lane taking his time going back to that corner. Big shot from Williams.
Well,
Jeremy's all over him.
Maybe it didn't help him. But Garing Lane have to hold on to Jeremy Williams, who really had nice range. Lane desperately has to get to the corner, has to get through this 20 seconds. Williams now stands back. You hear kind of an awe from the crowd. They want to see Williams close in. You cannot be saved by the bell unless it's the final round. But Lane will be able to hold his way out of trouble here in the 5th round. And wobbling back to his corner is Garing Lane.
Keep your hands down, man. Keep your hands up. You got him low. He's throwing 3 punches to yours on the inside. You stay on top of him, you'll be much better, man. You let him throw all the combinations. You got to answer back. You understand? Come on. Come on.
Here it is, Garing Lane falling into that powerful right hook. See the knees wobble? Looking for the balance underneath him. He gets hit with that hand again, and kaboom. Down he goes, just folds it over. Great sportsmanship from Jeremy Williams. Jeremy had the opportunity to hit him a couple of times while he's down on the canvas. Jeremy said, no, it's not right. So he didn't. There it is. Down to the canvas he goes. Jeremy winds up. He's ready to pitch, but he didn't do it. He backed off.
And now a different look on the face of Garing Lane.
And Jeremy Williams, too. Look at the focus on Williams. And the different style. Remember those first 4 rounds? Remember what Jeremy was doing? He was boxing around. The crowd was booing. They wanted to see more excitement. You have to wait till your opponent's at the right moment. You have to wait for him to accept your punches. Then that's when you turn it up or you slow it down. If you would have gone out there, if he would have gone out there in the first round and wasted all of his shots with that clean punches.
Oh! Garing Lane crumbles Williams to the canvas, who is complaining of a low blow. And Williams now arguing that wasn't a knockdown. That was a low blow. Sam Williams, though, continues the count. Low blow or not, the psychological change. And Jeremy is saying, what are you doing? Well, you know what Lane is doing.
Oh, yeah. Lane is biding some time and also trying to switch that control back to his favor or to his favor. Whatever you can do to get your opponent down the canvas, or sometimes you have to go below the belt or hit behind the head or pull on the elbows to make your opponent, inflict your will on your opponent.
You know, in the 5th round, right before Jeremy Williams knocked down Garing Lane, Lane was also trying to hold him up high, trying some tactics.
Right. Trying to muscle him. You can't let those bigger fighters muscle you on the inside. Clean shots from Jeremy. Look at the punches from Jeremy Williams that are landing on the mark compared to Lane's shots, which are missing. They're not quite hitting the target. Oh, it's so very important. Good look from above. Williams giving ground. Look, taking that half step back. He's resetting his feet, and then he tries to unload. There he is. See him go back. You get your opponent coming after you, get him chasing you, and then you sock him.
Well, we talked about some risk involved of Jeremy Williams fighting an experienced Garing Lane who's putting things together, but Garing Lane, who is also in his own world on a rise. Yeah. Why stepping in with a more mobile, quicker Jeremy Williams? This was a fight. You can ask both corners, why are you taking it?
Again, and both of them said the same thing, essentially. I can beat Garing Lane. I can beat Jeremy Williams. They're not taking this fight thinking they're going to lose.